So to walk away from that was extremely hard. Inflation killed us. It was that simple. I started Jars by Dani by accident. I was pre-med. I did not sleep for days. I would go to sleep with chocolate in my sheets, and it was like I was cooking everything myself in my apartment, my 5th floor walk up, hand delivering all over New York City. I wasn't going to say no to anything. I was just going to do it one step in front of the other every single day. And we were just making thousands and thousands of jars there every single day and shipping them out. I think everything led to this, what I'm working on next. So I'm excited to dive into this and see where this takes me.
Welcome to Cake for Dinner. This is not your everyday mom podcast. We laugh, we curse, we tell the truth, and we're here to ditch the perfection culture. Hi, friends. Before we jump into today's episode, I have something really special to share. If this podcast has ever made you laugh, made you feel seen, or reminded you that you're not alone in motherhood, I think you're going to love my new book, Cake for Dinner. This isn't a parenting manual. It's the stories I never thought I'd tell, the lessons I learned the hard way, and a reminder that none of us have to be perfect to be really good moms. If you've ever wondered if you're doing enough, this book is for you. Cake for Dinner is available for pre-order now on Amazon, and every pre-order makes a huge difference for a first-time author. If you'd like to support me and help get this message into the hands of more moms, I'd be incredibly grateful. Just search Cake for Dinner on Amazon or click the link in the show notes. Thank you for being here. Now, let's get to today's episode. Today's guest is Dani Beckerman, founder of Jars by Dani, the dessert brand that turned cake jars into a full-on phenomenon. And because we take dessert very seriously around here, she felt like the perfect guest. After more than a decade, she walked away and is now building something entirely new. Dani Beckerman, welcome to Cake for Dinner.
Thank you so much. I have always taken dessert very seriously, I will say.
It should be taken very seriously.
My husband knows that if we are going out to dinner, we are ordering everything on the dessert menu.
Yes, I love it. So speaking of that, you built Jars by Dani into something huge, really. When you look back now, what do you think actually made it work beyond the obvious, just a good product?
Okay, so I don't want to skip over the good product thing because that is so important. with
Totally.
Anything you are building, you have to believe in what you're selling.
Yeah.
So this was a good product, and we took so much care in making sure that it looked exactly like it looked on Instagram, which was super hard to do considering we were shipping them all over the world, and they were these perfectly layered desserts in jars. So we made sure, when you receive those jars, they looked exactly the way that they left our kitchen. And we used quality ingredients. We triple-checked recipes. We tasted everything first. We were always looking to come up with the most delicious new flavors to keep people coming back, which I think is why we were so successful. And then something huge, I think, that, Instagram has its pros and cons for sure. But I started this company when I was 22 years old.
Oh, wow.
And Instagram let me show people the entire story. So people were not just buying a product. They were buying into a brand, buying into a story, buying into the story of a 22-year-old girl just moved to New York and is hustling her butt off to get this product out there and is walking up and down the streets and hand delivering and talking to so many of my customers. And that's how I think it really helped me get it off the ground.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. And I think totally true. I think people buy from people, right? So buying into you, really.
Totally.
I recently interviewed Allie Webb, the founder of Dry Bar.
I spoke to her this week.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
And she talked a lot about that, about founding Dry Bar and the things that really set it apart. And there were so many things that I'd never even as a consumer would have known, the tufting in the store or the lighting or just all the little details, which you spoke to, the ingredients, the jars, all of that stuff. I think when as a consumer, we look and we're like, oh, this brand is huge. But we don't know all the little things that the person is doing to sort of make it successful.
To curate it for you, to curate that experience.
Yeah.
I mean, that is something that I notice personally.
Right.
I appreciate branding. I appreciate even the littlest logo, the colors. That is something that I look at.
Right. Well, because sort of behind the scenes
Exactly.
what goes into it. But
Yeah.
I think also we're in this world where everything is fast and like our kids are growing up with this idea that they can be an overnight sensation because of TikTok or YouTube. So I do like to highlight when I interview a founder kind of like the grit and the hustle and the heart that went into it, because it's not an overnight thing,
Totally.
you know?
So much hustle. Oh my goodness. But I think back so fondly to those days. I mean, I started Jars by Dani by accident. Um, I was pre-med and got really into baking when I moved to the city, and I made them for friends. I put them up on Instagram, and really, when I say it was instantaneous, I know you don't want to talk about instantaneous success. Definitely took a ton of hard work, but you know, talking 12 years ago, Instagram, it was much easier to shine than it is now. It's a lot more crowded. Um, so people saw them on Instagram and wanted to order them and reached out. And so I was filling those orders. And then I had a business. And talk about hustle. I mean, I did not sleep for days.
Yeah.
For days, I would go to sleep with chocolate in my sheets, and it was like I was cooking everything myself in my apartment, my fifth floor walk up on the Upper West Side, and hand delivering all over New York City, like by foot, by subway, carrying um huge coolers. And I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, that's the part I like to point out, because
Mhm.
sure, the concept can be instantaneous, and even the following or the excitement around it, but to turn that into something that's successful isn't
Totally.
instantaneous,
A hundred.
And so my next question actually points to that. So I'm a founder too. We own a national behavioral health company, and I know building something takes real grit. I always say mine comes from growing up with no money. Like I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of my stuff can really point to that. Where do you think your hustle comes from?
So funny because growing up, I don't think my parents would have thought that this is who I would become. I was more lackadaisical, loved to sit by the pool. I was very relaxed. Um, but, I had these orders and I had to fill them, and I wasn't not going to fill them.
Mhm.
So that was driving me. I think just I had to do it. Maybe I'm also a very competitive person
Okay.
for sure. Um, so I wasn't going to say no to anything.
Mhm.
I was just going to do it. And just one step in front of the other every single day. And I think I found something super exciting for me.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be a doctor, and it was always kind of a struggle. I enjoyed the science classes, but I didn't enjoy it as much as now I know that I enjoy business.
Yeah.
So every single day, waking up, figuring out something new, figuring out a way to brand it and to market it and to bake it, figure out scaling.
Lit-
Every single day was something new. Finding a kitchen in New York City when I was 22 years old. Um, Walking up and down into office buildings and literally knocking on people's doors and telling them about jars. I think every single day looked different. So even though I was working so hard,
Mhm.
I think that it was just so much fun, and every single day was so new that it kept me going.
When you have that, like, entrepreneurial spirit, like, I didn't even know I had it, by the way. Yeah, I got that when I was out of sleep for, like, 49 years. But when you wake it up, I think it is exciting, and I think the growing process is exciting. Allie Webb was actually talking about that too, like,
Yeah.
that she likes that piece of it,
Mhm.
right? Like, starting here and just
And moving on up.
yeah,
100%.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is super fun. So you spoke a little bit about it, but like, what did the like early days, the unfiltered version really look like? Because that is important to me, like for the younger generation, I think, to see kind of like what that really looks like, sort of behind the
Yeah.
scenes. Like, where were you economically at that time? You mentioned you were super young.
Yeah. Um, there was definitely a lot of stress and anxiety around it. And I was lucky I did have financial support from my parents, and they, helped me bootstrap this company.
Hmm.
I was very lucky there. Um, but
Were they at all reserved about that in the beginning?
they weren't. I have such supportive parents. People always ask that. My parents are doctors, and I was going to be a doctor. And they're always like, "Oh, were they so upset?" And no, they weren't. They just let me do my thing. Always.
Great
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah. They are great parents. I'm lucky.
Do you have
I
siblings?
do. Two younger brothers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So interesting too to be the firstborn.
Lead the way.
Right, right. Okay, so they were on board.
They were on board. So I'm very lucky there. But it was stressful. I mean, say like my dad gave me X amount of money for rent, and I would sometimes just put it in the business to the point that like I wouldn't have rent. um, and I was just putting everything into the business, my time, my resources, everything. Um, my apartment was a mess. I lived with my best friend at the time, and she could not have been more supportive either. I would like come home, I would be up all night baking, making the jars. The house would be a mess, our apartment. I'd be like, I'm so sorry, I'll clean when I get home. I would go out and deliver all day. And then I would come home to a clean apartment and flowers. Yeah, I know.
The best still friends today.
Yes, my best friend.
Amazing.
Mhm.
So truly, I mean, you walked away from this company.
I did.
When was that? And
Almost
like,
12 years.
okay.
So it was, yeah, I started Jars by Dani and ran it for almost 12 years. Um, I built it into something, if I do say so myself, amazing. I think like the brand recognition that we had, and the product and the scale. I mean, I went from my fifth floor walk up on the Upper West Side to a tiny little kitchen on like 14th and 6th, Union Square area, which is amazing. And I used to throw jardies there, and it was just so much fun.
Jardies. Oh my God, it's so cute.
Oh my God, I would have a DJ, and like people would be like jumping up and down dancing. It was such a fun time. And then, got more serious and built out a facility in Long Island City. And we were just making thousands and thousands of jars there every single day and shipping them out. So to walk away from that was extremely hard, for sure.
Why did you?
It was inflation killed us. It was that simple. It just got to a point where it was not working anymore. And we were drowning, and it felt like going backwards. My margins just became nothing. And just in retrospect, people ask me this now because people that are considering closing their companies have been reaching out to me a lot. And I say, try and sell it. Like really hustle harder to try and sell it.
Did you sell?
I did not. And I should have. It's not like the brand is amazing. So maybe one day.
Would you
hopefully
ever
down the line.
revamp?
So what I'm working on next, I think everything led to this, what I'm working on next. So I'm excited to dive into this and see where this takes me.
Can you tell us what space it's in?
It is. So I'm so excited about this. I'm in a very different place than I was when I started Jars by Dani, 22 years old, had just moved to New York City, single. Now I'm married, I have 2 children, and the next most natural fit for me, while some might have thought it would have been food because I come from food, was to get into the kids space. So I am getting into kids, into pediatric space.
I like it.
Yeah, you too.
Did you ever consider just not doing anything next, or are you sort of driven to work?
I am definitely driven to work.
Okay.
I like working. My mother works. Both my parents worked, but I'm a mom. My mom worked, and I loved watching her work. To this day, she works her butt off still, and I love watching it. And
What
I
do you
love
think
that
you
I
gained
saw
from
it.
that as a kid?
I always had so much respect for her, and I'm just seeing her go off and do her own thing and be her own person every day, aside from being my mom. I think that was super important for me to see.
Yeah.
That she was herself. She was her own person and a mom. And, that I think is something so important for women and mothers to have, to maintain a sense of self and not just be only mom. As amazing as it is to be mom, it's my favorite thing in the world to be.
Yeah, me
Like
too.
my number one position in life is mom.
Yeah.
And I love that.
How
I
old
love
are your
being with my
kids?
kids? They're about to be 5 and 3. I've been saying 4 and 2, but like they're turning 5 and 3 next week. So
Yeah.
I need to adjust.
Has it been hard to balance being an entrepreneur, founder, and a mom?
So when I had my first kid, my son, Bert, I was already like 7 years into Jars by Dani. So it was a blessing, honestly. I was like, look at what I created for myself when I was 22 and single, and now I'm married with a kid, and I have so much flexibility. Jars was a really well-oiled machine at that point, and I just had flexibility. Of course, there were days that like I wouldn't see him because I was so busy and I had to, go in before he woke up and get home after he went to sleep. But more often than not, I had flexibility and I created this for myself. And if I wanted to go be with him or, work from home that day or whatever, then I had that flexibility, which I thought was the biggest gift that I gave my future self. Um, but, talk to him now. I'm starting something new. And let's talk again in 6 months and see how I'm faring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? If it is a hustle or struggle to maintain the balance, do you feel that obviously you feel it's worth it or you wouldn't do it?
It is. I have a lot of faith in myself to be able to balance. I'm really good at prioritizing. So I have a lot of faith that I will be able to balance. And I also always have to remind myself of my mom. She worked hard. She wasn't there when I got home from school every single day. And I didn't mind. I saw her a lot. I did not feel neglected.
I wonder if we asked
proud of
her
her.
if she ever felt guilty.
She did, and I know she did. Um, she's a doctor, and, especially when I was, a baby and she was maybe working harder, if she was in residency, my dad would, bring me over to the hospital as a baby just so she could, see me for a minute.
Yeah.
So there's always the balance, the juggle, and the guilt, and I know that I'm gonna feel that. But I just have to remind myself, I'm building this for them. I want them to see me build this. I want them to reap the rewards of this if it's super successful. Um, and I want them to be proud of me and to respect me. That's something I want for them and for me.
And I think to pass that down, we have to be proud of ourselves and respect ourselves. And so much of that comes from building something,
Agreed. Totally agree.
And so for younger women, part of this podcast and part of what I sort of want to do is to, squash this weird perfection culture we live in, especially around moms,
Yeah.
right? And young moms coming up feeling that they have to, A, be fit, eat
I
well,
know.
their kids have to fucking eat well.
Yeah.
Everything has to be just so.
Are we allowed to say fuck?
It's my favorite word.
I like it too.
That second to titty.
Yeah.
So I think that women who are out front and doing their thing and building businesses, and I do feel like we have a bit of a duty to pass down the real shit, right? The truth of, it's not always easy. There's going to be balance struggles, guilt struggles. But also healthy messages. If people are watching you build, what do you hope to pass down?
Oof, hard question. Maybe think about it for a second.
You can.
A message.
Just because I think there's so many negative messages, right?
Mhm.
One being that it's easy or that you have to look a certain way or I just think as moms, we just get caught in this thing that even your mom, I'm sure, felt a little shamed for working so much.
Yeah.
But then you can also feel shamed for not
working.
for not being intelligent.
Yeah.
Or, so it's I want to just pass down real and truth.
Yeah. So I think something for me that keeps me very grounded, which I think is so important, is to really look at the bigger picture. So what do you want at the end of the day? What is the most important thing for you? So for me, health and happiness. I want my kids to be healthy and I want for them to be happy. That's every single day, that's what I wish for. So just to nitpick at yourself all the time, that's not going to make you happy and that's not going to make them happy. To look at what other people have and what other people are doing, that's not healthy. Because as we both know, you never see the whole picture. You just have to really focus on yourself and what your goals are and what you want at the end of the day. And be pretty laser focused on that and not get distracted
I like
by
that
everything else.
because there is so much. Well, first of all, there's so many expert opinions, right, in the world, and now everybody knows how to do everything. And I actually, in my book, I have a chapter called Parenting Techniques Gone Wild, because it's just like there's so many ideas coming at you.
Totally.
So I like your idea of just focusing on your goals. Like what, and if you keep asking yourself that, it drives you back to sort of like authenticity, I think. But it's hard not to get in the trap of
Totally. Of
kind
course
of
it is.
what other people are doing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm starting this new company now. After I closed Jars by Danny, I took a social media break. Um, I just I didn't like take it off my phone or anything, but it was not part of my everyday life
Right.
at all. Um, at the end of the day, I'd rather it not be.
Yeah.
You know, of course, it's great for business, so it cannot
Yes.
be avoided. But I'd rather it not be part of my life. So getting back into it and starting to have an Instagram presence again, so that I can start to really build in public and get people excited about what I'm building. It has been hard. I'm not gonna lie. It has. You look at it's impossible not to do so, to look at other people. But I just have to remind myself, just stay focused on you. What are your goals? What do you want at the end of the day? And also to be grateful. I know that's hard, but have moments every day where you really meditate on what you are grateful for. And I have so much to be grateful for. And I remind myself of that all the time. I have an amazing husband. I'm so lucky. We have an amazing marriage. That's such an important part of my life.
And a very important part of a founder life, I think.
Definitely.
I just interviewed also the founder of Tower 28,
Okay.
Amy Lou, and she talked a lot about that, about having such a amazing partner that has encouraged her but also supported her. She also talked about something interesting. I love interviewing founders because it's like these dynamic women that are building and building, but they're also running alongside that as a mom.
Yeah, totally.
Like
Mom and a wife.
right. It's
Yeah.
like we're in Tower 28 headquarters. I'm interviewing her. Her daughter walks in, needs a ride somewhere. It's like she still has to do all that. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
And she was also talking about how she went from building this huge business, and she said sometimes wondering if she should be a stay-at-home mom and sort of fantasizing about what that would be like. She took 2 years off, I think she said, and during that time she would wonder I just want to put that outfit on and I want to be in a meeting, and it's I think there's always all of it, and I just want us to always be able to talk about all that.
Yeah.
You know?
No, 100%. I mean, I am so happy being back in it. I was yearning for it. I like to use my brain in this way. I love to be creative. Like I said with Jars, every day something new. I'm learning so much going into a new space, especially.
Yeah.
Talking to people. Um
And you're in a whole new space
Mhm.
with a whole new group of people, right?
Totally, 100%. And every day I'm speaking to 5 different experts on the subject matter.
Yeah.
And I'm learning so much. I'm teaching people things. This product is really going to help kids. So I'm so excited about that.
Mhm.
But then also next week I have my kid's joint birthday party and we have 96 RSVP yeses. Is that excessive?
Wait. What do you when they get married?
Yeah, oh my god, I don't know. I love planning things. I love planning parties. I get very excited about it. I like to make moments special, especially for my kids. So I'm so excited to make this special for them. But it takes time. So it's
Totally.
balance. I'm filming something for my new company next week that I have to plan. I have this birthday party, even little things like getting my son a new bed for his birthday, getting him a bigger boy bed.
Yeah.
Just whatever, coordinating the delivery of that and the guy to come build it and the whole thing,
Yeah.
little tiny things,
And then moving him into it.
exactly, just little mom responsibilities, home responsibilities. They're real and it is a full-time job. Being a mom is a full-time job.
For sure. So speaking to that, are there any little things that you do either on a daily basis, anything that you do to keep yourself either grounded, motivated, any daily stuff?
I So my gratefulness meditation,
That's a
it is a big one and it comes almost naturally at this point.
Mhm.
I'm lucky that it does, but I would encourage everyone to meditate on that. And just take 1 second and look around and just point out the good things in your life.
I just interviewed a woman last week actually, and she's an expert in sort of that area, and she said that research shows that people who regularly experience gratitude actually have better heart health.
That makes sense to me.
Scientifically better.
Yeah,
That's why
that makes
that
sense. I mean, the power of the mind
Yes.
and all connected.
Yeah. My dad always says, never define yourself by what you don't have. So if
Exactly.
you wake up every day, see the things that you do have, things are in your life, and to practice gratitude. I'll send you the link after. She also talks about specific ways to experience gratitude. So she talks about the 5 senses,
Okay.
like to go through each sense and to see what thing you're grateful for in that realm. So like
I love that.
like it's very specific rather than, because some days I'm like grateful for my kids.
Yeah.
Like that's not nothing.
Yeah.
But I've been practicing the way she says, and it's like totally different, like
Yeah.
deeper and very interesting.
That resonates with me actually, because I mean, also every single day I'm grateful for my husband and my kids.
Yeah.
Every single day.
Yeah.
And I know I'm lucky. But I'm also lucky too. We live in Miami.
Yeah.
We go to the beach frequently, and I mean, we've lived here for 2.5 years, and I will stand in the sand and look at the ocean and feel deeply grateful.
Yeah, nature will really
Yeah.
bring you into. You've got to listen to
That's
this lady
like
because she actually talks about nature.
Yeah.
But this morning, I'll make this quick, but this morning I did that sitting outside, and I was going through like what I hear, and I hear the cardinals. It's just like a different level of gratitude. It takes you into your body,
I was
which
about
is
to
like
say that you could like
really
really let
cool.
it like
Yeah.
penetrate into your body, and like you could feel it.
Yes. So I did that this morning. It's
Yeah.
really wild.
Yeah, it is.
So if someone wants to find you, maybe they have questions about building a business, entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
or maybe they're interested in the secret business that's coming out, which I am so excited. I hope you come back when you launch that.
I definitely.
Because I think a part 2 to like really let people in on what happened next is super cool.
Definitely.
So how do people find you?
My Instagram at Dani Beckerman, LinkedIn. Also, started to dabble there more. Yeah, that's my husband's influence. But it's an interesting new social media to navigate. I'm enjoying
The
it.
field you're going in, or the area you're going into, has more business related people also.
Yes, and also I started jars when I was 22. Like I didn't like feel like I needed to speak. I was like,
Well,
doing one-
22, your people weren't on LinkedIn.
exactly. And I had like established myself, and I didn't feel like I needed to like talk to all the fellow business people, even though I probably should have. It's always a good idea to talk to as many people as you can. No, but I'm really enjoying LinkedIn. But yes, Instagram at Dani Beckerman.
Okay,
That's a place to find me.
Well, we look forward to you coming back and talking about your new endeavors.
For having me.
Thank you for coming. And
Just fun.
next Monday, we will be here again, Cake for Dinner.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you.